Hi everyone, it's Charlie with Great Legal Marketing, and I'm going to be covering a very interesting topic that I have grown to appreciate more and more the longer that I have worked at Great Legal Marketing. And that topic is the incredible and undeniable power of a single word. No. We need to be saying no a lot more often. If you want to be successful, you need to learn to say no more often. When you read interviews with very successful people and they talk about 5 things they had to learn in order to become successful, one of the most important things is, I learned to say no. So why do we need to learn how to use the word no more often in marketing our practices and in managing our practices? Well, no is a very powerful word. It changes you mentally in the way that you think about success, because when you start saying no to certain things, you are suddenly capable of putting more effort into things that actually matter. So what should you be saying no to, and how should you use the word no in your practice and, hey, even in your life? Well, let's start by talking about your time management and the power of no there. And this really kind of goes with managing your team, and you're going to find we're going to overlap a good bit here. But the first thing that you need to be able to do is have a level of self-control. And the best way to have a level of self-control, at least I have found, is to be capable of saying no to certain things in your life, certain harmful practices. A simple example would be with the food that you eat, learning to say no to white bread. That would be a very powerful example of the use of the word no. By simply saying no to white bread, you are improving your health by eliminating a simple carb. Now, stay with me. I realize I'm using a food example and we're going to be talking about legal marketing, which is a much bigger and more grand topic. But if we don't start small, we'll never be able to understand the big. So that's a quick example of self-control. Now, in terms of time management, learning to say no to things that you are not best suited for or things that are not a good use of your time is very powerful. A great example of this, and here we are hitting the managing your team portion, is you have a team member that comes to you and says, the copier is broken. Can you fix it? Your answer 100% of the time should be no. Figure it out. When you say no, you are saying, I am looking for people with solutions, not people with problems on my team. And you are saying no to an exercise that doesn't really make you any money. Having the copier fixed is someone else's responsibility, not yours. Say no when they come to you with something like that. So another example of managing your team would be certain legal responsibilities. This is why, after all, many law firms have paralegals or junior attorneys to handle some of the smaller activities, right? Isn't that why you hired that person in the first place? So when they come to you and basically say, hey, can you, lead attorney, do my job for me? Your answer should be no. That's your job. That's what you hired them for, and learning to say no and set boundaries informs them exactly where the line is in terms of what their job is to handle versus what you are going to handle for them. If you keep saying yes and babying that employee, they're never going to do anything on their own, and they'll always be too afraid to make decisions for themselves and on your behalf. And that is dangerous. That slows your practice to a crawl. It's not good for customer service if you have clients who are trying to find out what's going on in their case, and people are too afraid to tell them because they're always asking you about that information. Very basic example of managing your team. Additionally, we want to look at the 80-20 principle, or the Pareto principle, which says that 20% of your current efforts make up 80% of your productivity. You can apply this 80-20 principle to all aspects in your life, but the way that you want to apply it right now is to examine what you work on every single day and figure out what 20% of what you work on is worth 80% of your time, money, and efforts. And then figure out a way to only focus on your most valuable 20% while assigning the 80% to other people. Say no to that 80%. Okay, we also want to focus on specializing. This is a very important topic. See, I wanted to introduce the principle to you over here before we talk about something as big as specializing. So what specializing means is essentially picking a niche, picking a particular practice area or two that you really want to focus on, that are the most valuable practice areas to you. See, a lot of attorneys make the mistake of, well, to get the most clients, I should be a generalist and just say yes to everything. Well, as many of our members know, when you learn to specialize, you become more attractive to the people who need that specific service. For example, if you're an attorney who handles personal injury, family law, criminal defense, bankruptcy, and a couple of other niches like immigration and disability, no one really has a great reference point in terms of how they should refer a case to you because you're just kind of an attorney. You're not the family law attorney or the bankruptcy attorney. It's hard for them to tell your story when you're kind of all over the place. That's not particularly memorable, and you essentially become a commodity in the legal world. When you learn to say, no, I am no longer going to handle estate planning cases. I am focusing now on family law and bankruptcy exclusively, or even better, I'm focusing only on family law. You are going to find by putting your focus in there, not only will you become a better attorney in that area because you're spending more time on those cases, but you will start making efforts to attract those types of cases. That's why suddenly you can scale up in that area. When you're a generalist, you're marketing for personal injury, for the family law cases, for the bankruptcy cases, Social Security, disability. You're trying to do so much with just one marketing budget. But when you have one or two things that you're marketing, all of a sudden, all of that money that was way out here comes into a central point, a nice, focused marketing solution for your practice. It means that your messages are stronger. It means that you appeal to the right person rather than potentially a few people. It's all about working with your ideal client. The best way to do this is take a look and figure out what cases are currently making me the most money and which cases are not making me a lot of money. This is an example again of the 80-20 principle in use. What are the 20% of your cases that make up 80% of your revenue? And if you doubt me on this, go ahead and do it. Do the close research to figure out what is the 20% of my cases that were worth 80% of my money. This will absolutely play out in your practice. Then focus on getting more of those 20% cases. That's how smart marketing attorneys think. Let's get more of these top-level cases. Next, marketing. It's all about selecting opportunities. If you see a marketing opportunity and your instinct is to always say yes, no matter what, you're going to start wasting a lot of time on opportunities that are not worth a lot of money. When you learn to say no, even if the opportunity seems relatively attractive, you are giving yourself permission to put focus on only the most valuable opportunities. Learn to say no. No, I don't think that I necessarily want to go to that, be part of that association, because I would rather focus more time on creating high quality content for my website or shooting some videos. Next, we want to talk about clients and managing their expectations. This is a big one here at Ben Glass Law. We talk about managing the client's expectations and learning to say no to them. For example, the clients have to schedule a phone appointment to talk with one of our attorneys, especially Ben. And yes, that means that we say no to them if they call in and say, I have to talk to Ben right now. But here's kind of a cool little secret about this. We actually told them no ahead of time. We told them no at the very beginning and told them, you will have to schedule this appointment. We've preempted the no. So they already understand ahead of time, oh, I'm just going to be told no if I try and call in at random. So I'll go ahead and set an appointment through the receptionist or paralegal. So we've created the no way ahead of time. And then finally, about clients. It's going to hurt the first time that you say no to a potential client because the case just isn't good enough. And if you've been adjusted to saying yes to everyone, that's going to be a big hurdle to jump over. But you should breathe a sigh of relief the first time that you do it. This is you taking back power in your practice and saying, I only want to work with the people I want to work with. This will make you so much more attractive for potential referral sources and more attractive to the client you're working with because you're saying, I have actually selected you. I'm not just opening another file. I am selecting you as my client. Which if you've been listening carefully, there's kind of a secret in all of this, which is learning to market the fact that you do focus in particular practice areas on particular ideal clients. Because that way, when someone self-identifies as the person to work with you, they're going to say, well, this person is talking right to me and actually wants me on board, meaning that they are pre-sold on your services. So learn to say no. It might be a strange word to you at first, but it will be such a powerful part of your life and will improve your practice's marketing, your management, and your life overall once you learn to apply this principle in all aspects. All right, everyone, thanks for watching, and remember, say no next time. All right, if you're interested in learning more about the power of no and how to focus on a particular practice area in your practice and create the marketing that will drive clients to you because you are focused on them and you're saying yes to a particular group and no to a greater amount of people, then you have got to check out your opportunity to join us for free for 2 full months as part of the Great Legal Marketing Gold program at the URL right below. You're going to learn really powerful strategies that will make saying no much, much easier. It will improve your life, your lifestyle, and your practice. Your employees, you, your family, and even your community members that you're able to help will thank you for it. Just check out the URL below.